Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. Today I am doing video number 3 on how to make face masks. Now that we are we are having a shortage of elastic because there is such a demand, I'm going to show you how you can make them with fabric ties. So if you have watched my previous video, we are going to make it exactly like that, minus the elastic for the ears, and we are going to be using fabric strips. So you can use fabric strips or you can use bias tape, pre-made bias tape. I decided in this video to use fabric strips because bias tape, if you have to keep going and buying it over and over again, might get a little expensive. And plus, a lot of our stores are currently not open due to state mandates and that kind of thing, and that may be the same in your area. So I just wanted to kind of show you how we can do this and just make it out of fabric. It's a little bit cheaper and you probably already have the fabric scraps as is. So we'll go ahead and get started. So just like before, we are going to be using a piece of material. I'm doing 8.5 by 13. And what I'm going to do is take my material and I'm going to fold it up, fold the edge up so that the raw edge is about halfway point. I'm just eyeballing that, doesn't have to be exact. And then I'm going to take this raw edge and fold it back about 1/2 to 1 inch. Again, eyeball that, give it a little press. And then I'm going to take this edge and fold it over to meet that raw edge. Okay. Now, in the previous video, we put in the elastic right in here, so we don't have to do that. And I just unplugged my sewing machine. Let's get that plugged back in. Okay, so we're going to take this over to the machine right here, and we're going to stitch down the sides, just using the edge of my presser foot as the seam allowance guide. 3/8 seam allowance. Now I'm going to sew the other side. Alright, now we have this opening, and that is going to stay there. That way anybody that is wanting to add another layer or some type of filter, it will have an opening to do that. So we're going to turn this right sides out. I'm going to use my scissors to poke out the corners. Gently push, don't push too hard. You don't want to poke the corners out. Just push those out a little bit. And I'm going to give this a little press and smooth it out a little bit. Okay, so here is the opening again. So this is going to be the back side. So now what you are going to do for your fabric ties, you are going to cut a piece of material, the width of the fabric, 2 inches by the width of the fabric, which most bolts are 45. So here is our 2-inch strip of material, the width of the material, or width of the fabric. And what I have done is I took my strip, I've already ironed it, but I folded it in half and I pressed it. And then after I pressed it, I had a nice crease right in the center, and I took those raw edges and I folded them towards that crease, and then I pressed that just like this all the way down. And now these will fold over and your raw edges are tucked in. Okay, so just like that. So we're kind of just making our own tape similar like the bias. Now we have these little raw edges on each end, so we want to take these and fold this back, that little short end, fold it in, and then fold on our iron creased lines here. Oops. Okay, so I'm going to put a little pin just to hold that for a second. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my strip of material here, and I want to fold this in half to find the center. Okay. This is unfolding on me. Alright, so here is my center. I'm just putting a pin right here. Now I'm going to take my face mask material and I fold it in half to find the centers here. I thought I had another pin. Hold on. So I'm going to put one top and bottom. I think I took my pins in the other room. Thankfully, one was on the floor. Okay, so I've got a pin, top and bottom, marking the center. Now I'm going to take this out because I know the center is in between these two dots, so I'm just going to go ahead and take that out. So now I've got my center with my pin right here. I'm going to take that out right now. I'm going to open up the tape and I'm going to lay this in so that the edge of the mask material is laying right on the center, and I'm going to fold this over. And then I'll go ahead and pin this strip to the mask material. And now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to find the center here and go ahead and line that up. Take this pin out and then we'll fold this over. Okay, so I've got that pinned in place. I'm just gonna get my strips kind of folded and ready to be sewn. Okay, so I'm going to use, just like I did before, on each of the ends, you want to take this little edge and fold it back and then fold these edges in just so it tucks that raw edge in, or that binding. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start sewing. We want to do a little back stitch and then we're going to sew all the way down. I'm going to start about a 1/2 inch in, take a few stitches, then I'm going to reverse, because sometimes just right on that edge it's a little hard to get started, to get the sewing machine to start pulling it through. Makes it just a little bit easier. And then get those strips folded as you go. Now when you start sewing the mask material, make sure that you are sewing through both layers. And I'm just tucking in these folds that might come unfolded if you didn't pin it like I did. I don't like to use a lot of pins. I think it slows me down. If you feel like you'll do better putting a few pins or even using the clips, that's perfectly fine. It's whatever you're comfortable with. I'm getting close to this end, so I'm going to open up my end and tuck in this raw edge before I get to it. And then fold these back. Do a little back stitch before I finish off, and then turn my thread. And now we're going to turn it and go down the other side. Same exact thing. Flip this little edge in, get that selvage edge and then fold it to the center, and then fold that back together, and you are ready to go. This has got a little twisted. Let me get that straight. Okay. Just make sure all your folds are coming together. And I'm stopping to tuck in this raw edge, getting that folded, and then keep on stitching and do a little back stitch right before I finish, just to lock that in. Clip these threads. Okay, we are almost finished. So now, this is the back again. Get these threads off here. So we have our opening for any type of filter to be inserted. And I'm going to just pinch up about a ½ inch and fold once to the top. Give that a little press. And then I'm going to, these dots give me a nice line. Came in handy. And then I'm going to fold pinch it up about ½ inch, and then I'm going to fold that down. I've got one fold up and one fold down. And now I'm going to be stitching right inside here. So about a ½ inch in, because it gets really bulky with all the seam allowance in here, so it's a little better just to stitch a little bit on the inside to create your pleats. Let's go ahead and do that. And reverse. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew all the way across. And now I'm going to put my needle down, and I'm going to swing this back around and stitch right back where I was. I just put the double row reinforcement so that those pleats aren't going to come undone. And now I'm going to do the other side. Needle down, swing this around, and then stitch right back. Trim the threads, and we're finished. So super quick and easy. That expands over the, you can bring it up over the nose, still plenty big. And then you've got ties. They will need to be tied top and bottom. You have your opening for the pocket on the inside for a filter. So if you do not have elastic, this is a great way to do this. Super easy to just use your scraps of material, a 2-inch strip. So let's just review. Fabric again was 8.5 by 13, and then our fabric ties, I cut a 2-inch by the width of the fabric, which is typically 45, and 2 strips of those, and that was it. So if you've enjoyed this video, be sure to give us a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. If you have any questions, please leave a comment. I'll be happy to answer any questions. You can follow me on social media. And if sewing is not your thing and you would like a face mask, we do sell them on our website at SewCuteByKatie.com. You can purchase a finished mask there. But I hope this sewing tutorial has helped you complete making more masks if you have run out of elastic. So have a good one, and we'll see you in the next video.